What's going on, and welcome back to another episode of the I AFYL Podcast. I'm Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. Today, becoming magnetized to your desires. I just happened to be looking over some notes, and then I thought of the scripture that Yeshua, I'm going to call him Yeshua. Yeshua said that told his disciples how they were going to be magnetized to whatever it is that they desire. I'm going to share that with you in this episode. And at the end of the episode, you're going to have a tool that you'll be able to use so that you can go and start magnetizing your life and get to the next level. All right, guys, be sure. I got the brand new book, Living Life on the Next Level. It's right behind me. You can go grab that book on Amazon. You can go get it. You probably got Amazon Prime. You get free delivery. You can comment Next Level. I will send you a copy directly from here. Sign it. Leave you a note so you can, get the book with my signature in it. It's not going to be many books that have my signature in it. So you can comment Next Level. Get it on Amazon, but definitely get the book, Living Life on the Next Level. So in chapter 2 of the book, it's on concentration, the law of concentration, the law of focus. Being magnetized to our desires means that there has to be some concentration, some focus. And without focus, come on now. If we're not focused, if we are not fully putting our full concentration on something, it's not even possible for us to get what it is that we desire. It's not possible. Jesus was hanging out. Yeshua was hanging out with the 12. Who were the 12? The 12 were people that made a decision. They made a decision that, you know what? I know what I've been hoping and praying for. And because I know what I've been hoping and praying for, I know what the elders have already told me about the Messiah, the Christ who is to come. This seems to be the guy. In those 12, when he showed up in their life, he says, follow me. Oh, I'm going to follow because I can see with my own eyes that this is real. Now, check this out. If you were hoping, if you were praying, if you were wishing, even wanting, which we don't want to want, we want to have desires. If we were doing that, don't you think what you desire would start coming towards you? Don't you think that would happen? Like a magnet is a force. Isn't a magnet a force? If you get a magnet and you put a magnet next to something else that's iron or the right material, it's going to automatically bind to it. So the disciples had become a magnet to their desires. Yes, because everybody should have been a magnet. All the Jewish folk, anybody who was believing in the Christ and Messiah should have been a magnet at that time. But the disciples, when they saw it, when they heard it, they said, you know what? This is real. I'm going to go with this guy, even though he's kind of, it seems so, I'm not sure if I totally understand everything. So the disciples cast away all the stuff that they were doing so that they can go with what they were already hoping for, wishing for, concentrating on, focusing on. And that's what they did. So, all right. So the disciples did that. And they're watching Jesus. They're watching Yeshua. They're watching this person, heal people. Watching him, all of a sudden he's making more food out of the little bit of food they had. He's doing all kind of miracles. People are just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this guy's doing this. And they're sitting there watching like, yo, this is wild. Imagine sitting there. It's wild. And they got to the point where it's like, well, man, is this really the guy? And Jesus pulls him up. He says, all right, guys. Now you guys have been seeing. You guys are my inner circle. You guys are watching. Tell me something. Who do they say I am? Who do you say I am? And then they start saying, well, you could maybe a prophet, Elijah, and you could be, you could be this, you could be that. And it's like, okay. But then the ringleader, Mr. Peter, this is in Matthew chapter 16. if you want to go back and read the chapter. And then Peter steps up and says, well, you know what? This is what I know. Imagine the guy, this guy, well, I call him Peter, but his name is Simon. So Simon jumps up and says, you know what? You are the Christ. You are the Son of the living God. Now, here it is. These guys made a decision to follow Jesus, made a decision to follow him. And as they made the decision to follow him, right, they made a decision. They made this decision so that they can go towards what they were being magnetized. And Jesus is like, all right, well, you know who I am, but let me tell you what's going to happen now. Jesus said to them, he says, okay, I'm the Christ, but you are Peter, and I'm going to give you the keys. Because you've allowed yourself to be magnetized towards me. I'm paraphrasing, guys. This is my, what we call it, esoteric description of the story. And because you've allowed yourself to be magnetized of this, it's like, okay, all right. Whatever you do on earth will be unlocked in heaven. Whatever you unlock on earth, or whatever you lock up on earth, will be locked up in heaven. See, in Matthew chapter 16 and 18, I believe, 16, 18, and 19, Jesus is telling them how to magnetize themselves to what it is that they desire. He's giving them the secret. And I was thinking about something at the gym yesterday. I was actually listening to one of my mentors, and I wrote something down. And what I wrote down, it says, you will not attract what you want. You will not attract what you want. You attract who you already are. Okay. We're talking about magnetizing our desires. So if we were going to magnetize our desires to where what it is that we actually desired, if we're going to do that, say you want to be, Jay, I want to be a millionaire. Great. Are you willing now to become a millionaire? And yesterday I said this, in order to make millions, we got to become a millionaire now. In order to make millions, you got to become a millionaire. So one of the things that I've been focusing in on is millionaire activities. What are millionaire activities? Like yesterday, before I finished up work, I just started writing down all of the problems and solutions that could be available for small business owners. Yep, I know my problem. I know it, but what's going to see? I have to be aware of all the problems that my clients are going to have. Why? Because that's where they're going to want to spend their money. Not saying I have to get the product or service for them. I have to be aware of that. A millionaire, someone who understands their customer, their client, the person that they're working with, they have to be aware of this, or else what will happen is your potential client will be like, man, but I really need this. You have to understand what they need. And millionaires, they obsess over what their customer needs and what their clients and customers' desires are. They obsess over it. That's an activity that has to be done. And how does one do these activities? It's called concentration. Like, to get to the next level of our life, our business, or whatever it is we're doing, we got to concentrate on something. Back in 2017, when God asked me to become myself, he says, Jacob, come on, become yourself. What do you mean? Like, become myself? Like, what does that mean, become myself? He just become yourself. Well, I was talking to my mom, and maybe a couple of nights ago, I was talking to my mom, and we were just kind of discussing, what I'm actually doing with my life, and the plans that have been made over my life, and how God, the person that I am is not necessarily the person. No one saw this. No one saw books, right? No one saw me being an author, and no one saw me being a multi-millionaire. No one saw me, running big, but no one saw that. Dude, I grew up where I grew up and kind of like the experience that I had, that wouldn't have been what someone would have said. See, becoming magnetized to your desires starts with who you are. Starts with who you are. We have to be that already. You have to be that already. And so Jesus eloquently just says, okay, I'm going to give you access. I'm going to give you access. Yeshua says, the Christ says, I'm going to give you access. Now let's step back a couple of days, because a few days ago I introduced the attitude. I introduced the attitude that links to today's becoming magnetized to your desire. What is the attitude that one should have to become magnetized to their desires? What's the attitude? It's the Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness. Everyone, would like to be like Christ. Okay, that is real. We can all be a Christ. We can all be a Christ. See, as a religious person, growing up that way, it seems separate. Becoming Christ is separate from me. Or that's how it's being taught. Christ is something different. Christ is a different individual, and he's on another level. He's able to heal the sick and raise the dead, and he's able to do all sorts of miracles. But what if I told you, by becoming magnetized, you become a Christ? What if I told you that? Okay, yeah. Doesn't say that in the Bible. It absolutely does. Jesus said it. He says, you would do greater works than me. If Christ, the Christ, already said, you will do greater works than me, then that means that you can become a Christ and magnetize all of your desires. Now, here's the other side of the coin. All of us are a magnet, and all of us are pulling things towards us right now. We all are doing it. Let me ask you a question. What is it that you are magnetizing towards you right now? Like, are you getting your desires? Are you experiencing the life that you would like to experience? Do you have everything you could think of, or the stuff that you're like, man, I wish I could do, I wish I can go? And if the answer is no, then what that says is that yes, you're magnetized. You are a magnet. Things are being pulled towards you. It's just the things that you don't want. It's just the things that you want. And it's really, unfortunately, it's easy not to get the things that you desire. It's easy. The reason why it's easy is because everything around us it's kind of like you default into an experience. And unless we intentionally magnetize ourselves to what it is that we actually desire, then we default to whatever the settings are. Watch the news, default. Waste too much time, default. Not do the things that we say we're going to do, default. And so we become a magnet for something else. So when I was doing the topic, I said, well, should I say how to become magnetized or just becoming magnetized? I just said becoming. So how would a person become magnetized? Let's go through that so that you know exactly how to do it. A couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I introduced a framework. And the framework is the framework of, it's like where you start with your dream. You start with your dream, your vision, your mission, and then your destiny. And in that, you have the picture. The picture is the first thing that starts the magnetizing process. The picture. What is the picture? So whatever dominant picture you hold on to in your spirit, in your soul, think about it. It's the picture. And without the picture, we can't get to having any power. We got to first have a picture. And that picture will give us the strength to get to power. But it's not just any kind of power. It's why power. See, having power, there has to be a reason why you have the power. Because if you just have power to have power, then you might misuse the power. So there's got to be a reason for having the power. And so when we develop the right reasons, when we develop the reasons that give us sense of mission, you see the process? Picture, why power, sense of mission leads us to having a plan. Now, that's where all the doingness will happen. This is where you would mainly focus on, because you got your picture, which has to become dominant in your life, because we're talking about magnetizing ourselves to our desires. So our desires have to be constantly in our mind as a picture. Sometimes you got to have an actual picture. I'm sitting here looking at the picture on my second computer screen, and it's one of the most beautiful pictures. I don't know where it is. It could be in like Italy, somewhere in the Mediterranean. It's a like a city on a hill. Like it's probably in Italy somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's so beautiful. It's just got a backdrop of mountains and valleys, and I'm sitting there like, man. But I'm just saying, that's a picture, and that picture, the picture does something to us. We're talking about becoming magnetized to our desires. The picture motivates. The picture inspires. See, when things get tough, we go back to the picture. We don't just go back to the why power. We go back to the picture, because that's where the inspiration comes. Then we come back to the power. Say, how am I going to get some power today? Why am I doing this? I'm writing books because I have to write books. I plant a seed for my son to write a book. Right? I'm going to plant a seed for my other son. I'm going to plant a seed so that they too become writers, so that they too take their message into the world. If that was the only reason why, I was writing books, I got power from that. There's a lot of mistakes we make in life. And one of the mistakes that we make as we're about to close here, one of the mistakes that we make in life is that we might have a picture of where we want to go. We may even have developed a sense of a reason, the why power for going. We may even have a plan that gets us there. But because of our impatience, because we lack the patience, the whole thing is canceled. Yeshua said, the Messiah said to the disciples, I will give you the keys of the kingdom. That whatever you bind, whatever you lock up on earth will be locked up in heaven. He says, look, if you don't want it, we're going to lock it up, and we're going to lock it up in both places. And whatever you unlock on earth will be unlocked in heaven. This is the process of being magnetized to your desires. Knowing that whatever you don't want, you can shut out. And whatever you do desire, you can have by creating the picture of it. Creating why power. Creating a plan, which could be one action a day. Like let's say if you had a business, hey, make 10 phone calls a day, make 10 emails. Like, it's just got to be an action. And then lastly, having the patience that you know with certainty what you're doing is getting you there. Now, so if I want to get there faster, I just need to increase I need to look at the plan and see, is there more? Is there something more I should be doing that can speed me up? So guys, we are magnets. Christ told us how we can become magnets in Matthew 16 and 18 and 19. All you have to do is whatever you bind on earth, bind it in heaven. Whatever you unlock on earth, unlock it in heaven. And your desires are unlocked through focus, through concentration. And when we concentrate on it, when we concentrate on the picture, the white power, the plan, and have patience, your desires come about. Watch me. Watch me on this channel. Watch me on this profile. I am a fruit of heaven, and the territory has already been laid out. Things have already been given. So watch, it's happening. This is how you become magnetized to your desires. I'm Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. God bless, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.